Hey everybody, welcome back to Heart Breathings for another monthly notebook challenge. This is our April 2021 notebook challenge. I cannot believe we are already through the first quarter of the year. It kind of blows my mind, but so far it's been a good year. I hope that you are also having a good one. I wanted to start out by showing and sharing that I did actually in the month of March finish out this notebook that I had been working on since September. So this is more of like morning pages / regular journaling, and it is finished. So this will go up on my bookshelf. It has been drawn in and loved, and I will always remember that this was a time in my life when I had a little tiny one at home. I have started a new notebook, but I actually did not bring it here to share with you. There's only a few pages, but I think I shared it in the last month's. But it's another one of these Michael's journals that I'm just going to be using for that same purpose. And again, it may take me another 6 months to get through it, but it feels so good to have it done. So let me know how you're doing with actually completing notebooks and using them, because that is really the whole point of this. So often we hoard our notebooks. We love to buy new ones, and then we get anxiety about what happens if it doesn't turn out perfect. What if I don't put as many great ideas, or I don't have the time to use it all up? But there is so much more joy in actually using up your stationery supplies rather than just constantly buying new ones. And then you don't have to feel so guilty when you do buy new ones, because it's like, oh, look, I actually used all of these others. And a lot of people have asked, how do I store and what do I do with all of my notebooks and planners that get used? So I will have a video coming up about storage, but it might not be until we move to our new house and I get kind of a new storage solution set up for that. But it is coming in the future. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Today's notebook challenge is going to be sort of partial haul, partial going through my actual notebooks. So just a few cute little things that I got recently. Look at this cute little, it's kind of like a coin purse, but I'm probably going to use it for headphones and washi tape or something that I want to just throw in my bag without it getting messed up. So darling, I loved it. This comes from JETPENS. And then another thing from JETPENS is this glue stick. So this is from Kokuyo, and the thing that is cool about this glue stick in particular is, first of all, it's square, which you don't see very often, so it'll allow you to get into those square edges. But second of all, this one is wrinkle-free. So I didn't bring it downstairs to show you because it stays up in my evening routine sort of altar space, but I use a Hobonichi cousin for my tarot journal. And that has Tomoe River paper, and that paper is really fine, and it's just whenever you put normal glue or a bunch of tape and stuff on it, it tends to wrinkle. But this glue stick doesn't do that. It's wrinkle free. I was trying to get, they have a couple of sizes, but they were sold out in everything but the large size. So I just went ahead and grabbed the large size of it, but this should last for a very long time. But this will allow me both in my Stalogy and in my Hobonichi weeks and my cousin to be able to glue stuff in. I often put pictures, images, different little bits of memorabilia and things like that, and it always wrinkles my pages. So I'm pretty excited about this. That was another part of a recent JETPENS haul. I also got this Mono two-way from Tombow. So it's on one side, it is an eraser, and on the other side it is correction tape. So another couple of things that I got from JETPENS are some of the Studio Ghibli items. So I got these Zebra Delgard pens. So this one's Kiki's Delivery Service. They're not pens, they're mechanical pencils. And then this one is My Neighbor Totoro. I actually got this Totoro one a little bit earlier this year, but I haven't used as much as I wanted. So I saw the Kiki's on JETPENS and decided to get it. I also got these super cute washi tape. So 2 Kiki's Delivery Service ones and 2 My Neighbor Totoro. I would love, my favorite is actually Spirited Away. So if anybody knows where to get some Spirited Away washi tape, let me know, because I would love to have that. But I wanted to show you guys those real quick since we're kind of talking about some haul items. So this I've shown you guys before, but I don't think I've done a full walkthrough of this. This is my Delphonics utility pouch. This is the medium size. I just got this off of Amazon. Well, my son got it for me for Christmas, and it's one of my favorite things. I can put some of my favorite pins here, like Tokidoki pins from the Mystical Crow, My Favorite Murder, Simply Gilded, some Sanrio, some, this one is from Mossery, this is from Procrastiplanner, etc. So I've got some of my favorite pens on here. And then I also have a bunch of my supplies and things in here. One of the newest things that I've gotten, well, I have two things here. I saw one of my favorite like sticker shops and YouTubers and just people in general, creatives in general, is Helen from the Coffee Monsters Co. I love her artwork. I love her stickers. I just had a huge like new order from her for her 5-year anniversary. So happy anniversary to Helen. I love your designs, but I saw in a lot of her recent stuff, she's been using this Pentel Intergel Kleina pen, Kleina, and I had to get it because I was like, her writing is so beautiful. I love the really dark blacks of it, so I'm gonna give it a shot. I got the 0.5 and this one is the 0.3, and I also somewhere did get the 0.4, which is kind of a pink color as well, but I don't have it in here to show you. But I'm really loving this pen. Like, I really like the 0.5 best. The 0.3 is maybe just a little bit scratchy for me. It doesn't come out with enough ink, but I highly recommend this 0.5. I really like it, so highly recommended. So thank you for that recommendation from Helen. And also I have shared with you guys several times my Zig Clean Color Dot markers, but I recently also got these Tombow Play Color Dots because I wanted to see, they had different colors and I wanted to see if they were as good. They don't have the rounded tip, it's just a straight circle tip, but they are still really cute. The one thing that I noticed with these, well, there's two things I noticed with these if you've been thinking about the dot pens. These were a little bit cheaper, but in general, they don't always make a perfect dot the same way that the Clean Color Dot markers do. They do, however, have a second side, like a plastic nib side that's nice to write with. And they do have a lot of different colors. But the other thing is these tend, now not really on this paper because I'm using pretty thick paper, but even here you can see a little bit of bleed through, but these tend to bleed through my paper a lot more than the Zig Clean Color Dot ones. The Clean Color Dot haven't bled through any of my papers, but these seem to be more pigmented or more wet. So they are actually bleeding through a little, but I will link all that stuff below. Just a few little things. I know this is a notebook challenge, but these are tools that I use with my notebooks. So I thought you guys might want to see those. Okay, so one of the main notebooks that I put together that I'm using this time of year, of course, is my Happy Planner with the gold discs. And this doesn't have any Happy Planner inserts in it. It's just the Happy Planner cover with the discs. And then inside is my HB90 Goals Planner. So in my HB90 Etsy shop, I have two different types of printables. I have the Goals Planner, which is the yearly workbook pages. And then I also have the quarterly planner, which has the workbook pages for your goal setting as well as a daily planner in it. I use both. So I use the daily planner in my A5, and then the goals planner is what I use in letter size, so I have more room to plan. So basically I have gone over all of my goals for last quarter, and I have created a new time tracking or new like ideal schedule, a new time estimator and all of that. And then I have also set my goals for Q3. And I have figured out all of my projects and all of my sticky notes are ready to go. So I've got them in here for now, and I will be putting these up on my Kanban board hopefully today. So we are leaving for Myrtle Beach for the next 4 days. So I'm going to be completely offline, hopefully not responding to anything on social media, just so I can take a full break. So I'm not sure if I'll have time to reset my board and get that recorded for you guys tonight, or if that'll be later next week. So I'm a little bit behind on my videos, but it's okay. So I've got all of my sticky notes and everything set up and I'm ready to go. I'm doing something a little bit different for this quarter in terms of my time. And I'm going to go over it just briefly here to kind of show you how I'm using it for my notebooks, but I'll also go over it in a separate video about my plans for Q3. But basically, instead of tracking my days, which can be a little bit tricky, like how many working days do you have per quarter? That's a little bit more simple, but it's also can be tricky when you don't necessarily work all day. because my schedule is a little bit crazy with an 18-month-old who literally never stops moving, and she wakes up at different times of day, and we're, just our schedule is a little bit up in the air. I have instead identified what I'm calling task blocks, which is basically Pomodoro sessions, so 25-minute task blocks. And I have done my estimating for my time with all of my projects based on these task blocks, which it's basically every 2 task blocks is an hour because it's a half hour per block. And I know that sounds maybe a little bit confusing, but it all works out in my head. And I'm going to be trying this for the very first time as kind of like an advanced level of planning for the time tracking. I will be using this plan and all of those ideas about task blocks in conjunction with my time tracking planner. So every quarter I've been setting up an Erin Condren sort of Franken planner that mixes both the horizontal planner as well as the daily duo, which is their daily planner. And I've been tracking my time in it. And a lot of you have asked me, can you please share your time tracking planner with us? But I have not shared it yet because I don't feel like the system has totally been working for me. And I didn't want to share it when it's not really working. It's only partially working. But I will sort of share this setup, and then I will update you guys later in the quarter or at the end of the quarter of whether this setup worked better for me. But I spent some time, look at how cute this new little Sanrio and Friends, Hello Kitty and Friends cover came out. So I used a gold coil this time. And instead of using a combination of the daily duo and the horizontal, I am using a combination of the daily duo and the academic planner. So I'm going to try it this way because it's arranged a little bit differently. So let me show you kind of what's in it just briefly, because I'm going to do a full video on this later. But I basically have sort of the beginnings of the daily duo. Then I have just a regular blank sheet that I'm going to use for some images that's going to work sort of like a vision board just for each month of here's the things I want to get done this month. So I'm going to put this vision board together. I can use my new glue stick with the wrinkle free, and it's going to have basically like Camp Nano. It's going to have a photo of the book that I'm working on. It's going to have a photo of the videos or the YouTube number that I'm trying to get to, that kind of thing. So that whenever I open up this planner, I see that little vision board that's very much just for this month. Then I have some basic lined pages from just one of my notebooks, and I have set out all of my April projects, and I've kind of explained and sort of talked through just for my own clarification of how I'm using these time blocks or project blocks, or maybe I'm going to call them task blocks. I'm not sure yet, but on average, I'm going to have about 12 to 14 task blocks per day. And then I'm going to have on the weekends 5 to 6 task blocks per day on the weekends. And I've used these dot markers to create these little checklists, and you can see here how kind of on the other side, it didn't exactly bleed through, but it's definitely ghosting, and I'm very close to a bleed through on that. So it's a little bit disappointed in that, but it's not so bad. So I have not only the tasks that I want to get done, but also the deadlines for when I want them done by. So I've got my biggest projects sort of laid out and all of the deadlines so that I can be super clear. Now, this is work that I would usually do in this planner, that I would usually set out those projects in here. But instead, I kind of had this open at the same time I was working on my plan so that I can have this information in my time tracker. Then I also have my daily schedule just for the month of April. I also have identified that I have about 300 task blocks to work with for the month of April. And again, I will do a full video on this because I know it's if you're new to the HB90 method or to time tracking, this is going to seem like, okay, this is ridiculously over the top. But I've been doing this kind of system for a couple years now and teaching it over and over. So I'm trying something new just to see if it works for me. But basically this means 150 hours that I'll be working in the month of April. And there are some things that are on my plan that don't go into this work time block, like my morning and evening routine and stuff like that is outside of the scope of this. But because I've estimated 300 time blocks, I have gone through with some dot grid paper and I have marked out 300 time blocks on this sheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a combination of my phone, which now has a chime that will go off every 30 minutes to remind me, track your time, track your time. And it also has a little motivational message. So it pops up every 30 minutes and says, track your time, but then it has a message that says something like, you are worthy, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone, you look beautiful today, you're doing a great job, those kind of things, which I know sounds cheesy, but I could use the extra cheerleading right now. So I'm doing that. And so I will remember every time that pops up to go into this planner and note what I was doing for that period of time. And then I will track and I'll be able to see at the end of the month, did I actually use 300 time blocks? Did I come short? Did I go way over and work way more than I intended? What's my work-life balance here? And in addition to having all of these time blocks figured out, I also have an estimate in this planner, so I've used them at the same time, of how long each project will take me. Then I also have, after the weekly spreads, I have a few little pages if I want to do any journaling about how my tracking went. And then I have the actual daily duo pages. And this doesn't start, I didn't put it in here until the 31st because we're going to be at Myrtle Beach, so I'm not going to be time tracking until we get to the 1st. But on my daily pages, this will be actually the thing that kind of sits on my desk just like this. I have a little stand and it sits on my desk. So every 30 minutes when my tracker goes off, I'm going to mark what I did. And at the end of the day, after I have this filled out, I'll go back and I'll fill out that weekly one and this one. I don't know if this will be too much, if I'll be able to keep up with it, but I have put in my ideal daily schedule that I put here, I have time at the end of each day. I've given myself one task block per day or one time block, 1 30-minute Pomodoro to go through and make sure my time was all tracked and to input it into those other 2 places so that I can keep up with it. I think that's where I've kind of run into problems in the past with my time tracking is I wasn't setting aside time at the end of the day to sort of make sure that I tracked things appropriately. So this is the plan. I know that it might sound a little bit extra to some of you, but we'll see how it goes. And it's always, for me, fun and productive to try new things, to see what works. And I may be part of this that I go, okay, that was way too much, I never kept up with it. But there might be part of it that I say, wow, that really helped me to manage my time. I am somebody who really needs outer accountability to make sure that I'm showing up for myself. The Kanban board does that for me in and of itself because I can move those sticky notes down and I see what I have to do and it's very much in my vision. And I'm hoping that this will be just another added layer to that accountability that I see, like I need to fill out all 300 of these blocks in order to get my work done this quarter. And I can trust that as long as I'm filling these out and I'm putting in the time, the work will get done. So that is the plan. And that is my new time tracking planner / notebook. So the other notebook that I've been using almost on a daily basis, and this beautiful Chanel bow keeps getting kind of squished, but this is the planner that I showed you a while back. This is from Cloth and Paper, and I adore this planner. I really, really love it. I highly recommend. This is a splurge. It's an expensive planner, but she has them in rings and then also this cover where you can put your discs into it. And this is the half letter size. And I have really loved this. So I mentioned and did a flip through of this before, and I will link that video down below if you missed it. But this I'm using for my course that I'm taking on manifesting. So just to kind of give you a little bit of an update, I have been using this pretty much on a daily basis, where I have been filling out all of the workbooks and everything else that she has. I've also been taking notes on the course information. We were supposed to write a letter to ourselves. I've been using these little page flags that I bought from Cloth and Paper to mark the different workbooks you can see here so that I can get to them pretty quickly. And I've really been enjoying this class as well as this beautiful notebook. So I've been tracking my daily gratitude in here, and I'm on, this is module 4. So the class is actually, as of yesterday, I think they opened module 7. So I'm 3 weeks behind, but I'm not worried too much. And I always tell my own students, like, once you have lifetime access, there is no behind, just work through it at your own pace. And so I am a little bit behind, but I'm not stressing it. I am just enjoying the course and really taking it all in, and I'm loving it. So I'm on week 4. moving into week 5, hopefully after today, after I finish this up. But I've been keeping my gratitude and things in here, and I'm about this far into this notebook. So this is all still blank pages that I haven't gotten to yet, but going pretty well in terms of a notebook. And one thing I love about disc systems, again, these are from Inked United. I will link to her shop. These dragonfly discs are so beautiful. One thing I love about disc systems is you really can change it and make it your own. I mean, the Erin Condren and the coil, I have kind of perfected my system of taking apart the planners and recoiling them, but it's time consuming. This kind of thing with the discs is nowhere near as time consuming. The final notebooks that I'm going to share with you are really just some stuff that I'm doing to get ready for my house move-in. So I will throw a picture here up on the screen of how my house is coming together. I always feel like when you're looking at houses that are being built, the framing part goes so fast. And now as they're going to start getting into the stairs and the detail work and the drywall and stuff, things are going to slow way down because there's material delays, like windows are very delayed, appliances are really delayed. So it's still going to be months before we move in, but it's just exciting to see it coming together. So it is time for us. We've been renting now for 4 years in 2 different houses. So we've got stuff in boxes, stuff in storage. It's time for us to really go through and figure out what we want to keep, what we want to donate, what we might want to sell, what we're taking with us, that kind of thing. So of course I need a planner / notebook for that. I also wanted to show you, this is kind of recent haul from the warehouse sale when they did 20% off the whole store. I got this new Sanrio and Friends. Here you can change the colorways on this. And then I also got this one. And so those are some of my new things. A couple other things that I got in the warehouse sale, just to show you briefly, is they had these notebooks. I don't think these are going to be available anymore, but it has the flowers on the page. So I grabbed that one, and then they had another one that had the leopard print on the page as well. So you might see these coming up in a giveaway coming up soon. And then I also got a productivity style notebook with this so cute, one of my favorite ever designs that they used to have at EC. This is their watercolor palette, and I never got it because I always chose something different and never got this on one of my planners. And then they discontinued it, but now they have brought back some of their favorite classic designs. So I had to snag it. So this is the watercolor palette, and I just got it on a notebook that has the productivity pages. No real use for this yet, so stay tuned. And then the other thing I got here, I'll share with you in just a minute. That'll be the very last thing I go through. I forgot I had that one. But this is a planner / notebook I have had all year and haven't really used. So this I got a couple of years ago. This is one of their covers, neoprene covers. They used to, at Erin Condren, have dividers that you could get for your planner. So it's just like the cover. It's the same size as the covers that you can interchange, but it was just one side. So I think it was like $5, and they don't do this anymore. So you'd have to like order the covers instead of like the front and back covers instead of each individual one. But I got these years ago when I first set up my budgeting planner. So I have all of my sort of moving stickers, house related stickers, budget related stickers in here. And oh, here's that pink one. So this is the Energel Kleina. This is the 4 or Kleina, whichever it is. This is the 0.4 is the pink colored one. So you've got the 3 different sizes here. I forgot I put it inside here. And then I also have an Erin Condren mechanical pencil in here. But I have basically all of my like home based stickers. And then I also have an Erin Condren monthly planner. Now this I did last year, this cover I did last year, and my son just recently pointed out to me that I have my husband's picture, the same picture on here twice. So now every time I look at this, that's what I see. It's like, why did I do that? I guess I just really like that picture of him in the blue shirt. So oops, but I'm still going to use it because it's a cute dashboard. But anyway, this is basically, well, I've got all of our house information there. And obviously I haven't used much of the January stuff. I was kind of keeping track of like when we had meetings, when they started building the house and that kind of thing on the monthly spread. But I wasn't really using this too much. I was kind of using this to practice laying things out, writing some different measurements, but you can see here it hasn't really been used that much. I've barely really used it, but I do have plans now to get working on creating a moving checklist. So what I want to do in this planner is a couple of things. And again, this is the monthly planner, so it's kind of like a hybrid notebook / monthly planner. All it is the monthly layout and then a bunch of notes pages. So it's more of a notebook than it is a planner. And I'm planning to use this to basically, this is a list of projects. And again, my baby has written all over this. A list of things or spaces in this current house that we're in that we want to go through and clean out and sort of look through all the drawers, look through all the things. So we've been keeping up with this. So we've already done these sections. We did February and we did not quite get through March. So we're a little bit behind. We're kind of still on the garage here, but we've got all these extra spaces. So by the end of June, we're hoping to have all of these spaces like cleaned out, what's going, what's staying, what's getting donated, what's getting sold. I've also been kind of using it to sort of figure out the layout of my new office and things like that. But I want to actually go through and make lists of things that I know we'll need to purchase when we get to the new house, set a budget, put in the information of any kind of meetings that we have with the builder, any meetings that we have with the movers. And I want to use some of these things that I have from the previous budget tracker to put in here so that I can keep up to date with our budget. So I'm going to be putting this together maybe while we're on vacation, because planning just makes me happy and it'll be just kind of something fun to do, and it'll give us, my husband and I, some time while the kids are playing to talk through the things that we need to do to get ready for the house. But I am excited to set this up kind of as my little moving planner. I probably will also print out some photos. I've been putting together, probably for the last few months now, Pinterest boards that have my favorite living room setups, office inspiration, and things like that. And I have been pretty obsessively, just when I'm hanging out with, my husband and we're just chit-chatting at night and stuff like that, I've been adding things to my Pinterest boards here and there. But I probably will take my favorite things and actually print them out and put them in here like a vision board and start budgeting how much we have to spend on a couch that's similar or outdoor furniture that's similar. And obviously, we probably won't be able to buy everything that we need right when we move in, because it'll be a process. I think last time we actually owned and built a house, it took me a couple of years to afford everything, like all the artwork, all the new couches or things that we want. But we're going to reuse as much as we can from this house. But this, because we've been renting for 4 years, we've just been kind of using a mishmash of things that are like used and just not ideal. So I'm excited to slowly grow into the new space. So that may take some time, but it'll be a fun process. All right, so the final planner / notebook. Again, this week is really heavy on the planner side of it, so I apologize for that for those of you that are just looking for notebooks, but hopefully this will give you ideas, because really, like, all of this stuff when it comes to the time tracking or the moving notebooks and stuff like that, you could do that in a plain notebook just as well as you can in a planner. But I got the Erin Condren seasonal surprise box. I did a walkthrough of it, or an unboxing. If you want to see that, I'll link it for you down below. And it came with these beautiful side tabs. And I had actually ordered this before I knew those side tabs were in the seasonal surprise box. So it worked out perfectly. But this is the Peacock Color Softbound Life Planner. So this is kind of like an 8x10 or so planner. And it's just a horizontal life planner. It has the monthly spread, and then it has the weeks in this horizontal layout. Obviously, I didn't buy it until March, so these days are already gone, but these planners are 50% off right now, and I could not resist. I was like, you know what? I have a use for it, and I'm going to try it. So I was watching some of the Planner Perfect videos about scripting planning. And I personally am not going to go all in with scripting planning with the traveler's notebooks and the journaling and different things that she does. But I am going to continue watching her videos on how that process works. But I do love, especially since I'm in that manifesting course, I love the idea of sitting down first thing in the morning in my morning routine and having a designated place where I can write down how I hope the day goes, how I want to feel today. And so instead of like scripting my whole day, I've just been scripting things like, Today is such a beautiful, warm day. I feel confident and inspired by working on my book. My back is feeling better. I'll have 70 plus people at my live for the reading today. My work inspires people and they feel supported by me. Our family is happy and healthy. Just things like that. And it really has been, I only did it for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. And it's just all happy stuff. So that's why I put this decal. So this words plan for good things is actually from Carpe Diems. They have these vinyl decals and I think I got it on sale one year for maybe $1. And I thought it would be the perfect thing to put on this planner. And I think it looks really cute. And I thought it would be the perfect saying for plan for good things, because this is how I'm going to set up my morning routine from now on. Is for one of the first things I do when I sit down for the day to work is I'm going to write in this little journaling section. There'll be some kind of affirmation in the box to the side, and then in the actual journaling or planner space, I'm going to write how I hope the day goes. Today is going to be a day of excitement. I'm feeling inspired. I'm getting excited. My writing is flowing. The words are coming easily, things like that. So that's sort of like scripting. If you've ever done law of attraction or you believe in manifesting, which you may or may not, and that's fine. It's really just a way to sort of center yourself on how you want to feel throughout the day. And I have found just for the past 3 days of doing it, that it really was helping me get centered for how I like get excited and inspired for how I want the day to go and let go of any negative feelings. Another thing that I'm doing to try to lessen the stress and negativity in my life, you may have seen me post about this on Instagram, is I have taken social media off my phone except for Instagram, because you can only post to Instagram really through your phone unless you schedule it. So I'm going to still be doing I'm hopefully going to get back to doing my morning coffee chats and bookends and showing you how those task blocks are working out for me. I wanted to take Facebook off my phone and some of my other social networks so that I'm not constantly seeing so much negativity and having my own comparisonitis triggered. And I found that a lot of the time I was having my phone at dinner or when my kids were outside playing, and I would hear that little notification go off, and it would be a negative comment on YouTube about how I look, whatever. And it's just like, it was starting to ramp up my anxiety and to see every email as it comes in, that kind of thing. So I am setting some extra boundaries in Q2, and I will talk a little bit more about that in my Q2 goals video. But this is my new scripting planner, and you can use this in a planner, but you could do this just as easily in a notebook and just like a bullet journal style. Like even a notebook like this, you could just write out the date and say, here's how the day is going to go. So any notebook. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of how you could use your own notebooks. For our giveaway this month, you have your choice of one of these Michael's planners. You can't make everyone happy. You're not a taco. To the Moon and Back UBU peacock one, or this beautiful floral one, which would be perfect for spring. So all of these Michael's notebooks have about 98 pages, and they all have a ribbon as well, and they're just lined notebooks. Or this is the Happy Notes notebook that didn't get chosen last time, and it says Rise and Then Shine, and it's got kind of a fruit theme inside. So you get to choose. So let me know in the comments down below. This is again open internationally, and I will keep it open until this upcoming Friday. So go ahead and comment and like, and make sure you're subscribed, and you are entered to win. I also wanted to give a little bit of a spotlight for our diverse books and our diverse reads to some Asian authors, because of course we are all looking to support our fellow Asian authors and Asian creators in our community to stop Asian hate. So I thought it would be the perfect time to uplift some Asian authors. If you are an Asian author or Asian American author in our community, I would love for you to also leave any links to your own books down below, or contact me by email so that I can feature you on my Instagram or elsewhere on my social media. I would absolutely love to support you in that way. But I am going to just put a few books here on the screen that are some of my favorite authors. So Celeste Ng, who has written some of my favorite books, including Little Fires Everywhere, which you can also watch on Hulu. It's a very good show as well. So she's one of my favorite authors. Also, one of my all-time favorite authors that I have loved for years and years is Amy Tan. Absolutely love The Joy Luck Club and The Bone Setter's Daughter. Just some beautiful, beautiful writing from her. In the YA area, we also have Jenny Han, and her books are just like so cute and so beautiful, and I absolutely love them and highly recommend them. Another one of my favorite Asian American authors is Pen Tip Done. If you are not familiar with Pen Tip's writings, I featured her book last year as well, or maybe even the year before, but I also just want to lift her up again because she is not just an amazing writer, but an amazing human, and she is such an inspiration. She deals with a chronic illness that most people would have given up on writing. The courage and the bravery that she has to continue writing through this illness is such an inspiration to me, and I adore her with all my heart. So definitely check out Pen Tip Done as well. If you would like to lift up any other Asian authors that you love, please leave them in the comments below, and let's make sure that we support this community as well as all creators like Helen from Coffee Monsters Co. and so many others here in our community, because really, y'all, racism has got to stop. We've got to put a stop to it. And if we work together, we can make sure to make this a better world just by lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down. So let's continue to do that. I hope that you all enjoyed this notebook challenge. Yet another month is gone by, which is so hard to believe, but I am excited for what is to come in Q2. I will be having a Q2 Kanban board reset video and a review of Q1, which, by the way, was one of my best quarters of all times in terms of my income and productivity. So I can't wait to share that with you coming up soon. It might just be a little bit late because I will be on vacation next week. And then coming up, I know I've teased it for a while, but we will have a series coming up later in May or later in April that is all about great ideas, how to come up with them, how to brainstorm them, how to develop a story from an idea into a novel, and more. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. I absolutely love you guys, and I'm so glad that you're here. Make sure that you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up button so that other people will get recommended to watch this video as well. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.